I'm the Cash Budget Cajun, and today we're going to learn how to change your radiator coolant. This is an easy job that anyone can do at home with a basic set of hand tools. So if you're ready to save big money, go ahead and stay tuned, because this can cost you up to $150 with the mechanic. But today we're going to do it for just 1/3 of that. Before getting started, it's very important to know that radiator coolant is very dangerous for our furry friends. They're attracted to the smell and the taste. They'll readily drink it, and it's very poisonous to them. So anytime that you mess with radiator coolant, make sure that pets are picked up safely. They can't get to the area. Clean up any spills right away, and make sure that you store the old fluid in a good, tight, sealable container. After you've stored it, most mechanics and dealerships will be able to dispose of it for you. Some of the items you might need for this job: a good pair of ramps, replacement radiator fluid, a small screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a 10mm socket and ratchet set, a funnel, a catch pan, and some cardboard just to sop up the spills. Before replacing any fluid, it's a good idea to check your owner's manual. The owner's manual will tell you what type and how much that you need to purchase. There's nothing worse than purchasing not enough radiator fluid, draining out your engine block, and discovering you don't have enough to put back in. You could end up stranded that way. I know, because I've done it before. For the sake of aerodynamics, most modern cars will have some type of pan under the engine. This will have to be removed for access. It's usually easy to get these off with a screwdriver. With your catch pan in place, it's time to drain your fluid from the radiator. Most modern cars have a small plastic spigot. You'll have to turn this valve 90 degrees. Don't go any further, because you could break that plastic part off. If you can't get it by hand, it's okay to grab it with a pair of pliers, but again, be very careful. Now, we'll wait until it's fully drained, until we refasten the drain plug. If you're working on a Honda K24 series engine, you'll have to remove this lower radiator hose where it meets the engine block. This is easily done by pulling a retainer clip and pulling the hose to the side. Then you'll remove this thermostat housing, taking out 3 10mm bolts. When this is removed, the remaining coolant will drain out of the engine block. While the lower radiator hose is out of the way, don't forget to reinstall your drain plug. Then we can reinstall the thermostat housing and cinch down those 3 10mm bolts. Then reconnect your lower radiator hose. And don't forget to secure that retaining clip. Fill procedures will differ between manufacturers. Be sure to consult your owner's manual or shop manual to see exactly how and where to fill radiator with fluid. I like to go directly into the radiator cap. Then I'll start the car and let it run. As the water pump pulls fresh radiator coolant into the engine block, the level will lower in the radiator. At this point, I begin to check, see if air bubbles are coming up in the radiator, and then I'll replace the fluid that's been pulled into the engine. I'll do this several times until I put about 1.5 gallons into the radiator, which is pretty close to the full capacity. The rest of the capacity is usually taken up by the fill bottle on the right-hand side of the video. You can see it right behind my left hand. It's the white bottle. I then cap the radiator, fill the fill bottle to its max capacity. I replace the cap and take the car for a drive. I pay close attention to the temperature gauge as I do this. When I return, I check in the fill bottle to make sure that the radiator fluid is at its proper level. If the engine's pulled some in, I'll go ahead and top it off at this point. In this case, I needed to add about a quart. And that's all there is to it. I hope this video has given you the confidence to try and tackle a radiator coolant replacement at home. This is Cash Budget Cajun. Happy motoring.